Our conversation with Indiana Area School District Superintendent Mike Vuckovich is brought to you by Marcus and Mack, a law firm representing injured people, and he's on the line with us now. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Wonderful. It's good to have you on the air. Just another typical boring school day at Indiana Area School District today, huh?
Yeah, it's a new normal. Times have changed for the short term for us, and we're adjusting and planning and working as a team. So, yeah, it's a different day, sir, but it's a day.
Yeah, indeed it is. Okay, so feeding programs are one thing, and you've got that going. Educational programs and getting things going online, another thing. Let's start with the feeding programs. How have they gone these first couple of days?
Yesterday was our first day, Todd, and it's gone pretty well. We had over 100 families come and take advantage of the site, so we expect that number to grow over the next several days, as well as we're reflecting about what we can do differently. In particular, we're going to look at either maybe the possibility of a voucher program that people get more than 1 day's worth of meals, and or it's possible to use some buses delivering some of the food to other locations. So we're building this in flight, and we're aware of the need for our families, and we want to support that. And we're going to monitor, look at the data, and look at the numbers, and then get back and see what we can do to increase access, because I have to give credit to our school board who made this a major priority to make sure we got this done for our families, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, so at the senior high and at Ben Franklin Elementary, as of now, but that could change, correct?
Yeah, as of now, we're going to go the rest of this week with the senior high and Ben Franklin, monitor, look at the response rate, see the people come out, and then see what else we could do to get to that. Maybe some other locations like Shalakta area is concerned to us, how we can get food out to those families, as well as what we can do here maybe locally to have greater access. So that's something that's on our radar. We're looking at, we're evaluating, and we're going to adjust as we go.
Educationally, then, as we're, again, talking with Indiana Superintendent Mike Vuckovich, there are some school districts probably have to build this from the ground up. Where were you before this all started in terms of being able to offer courses off campus, and how do you stand now? How's the building process going?
Well, the good thing is we have some internal capacity, so we're in a solid spot. We expect to release communications to families either today or tomorrow, give them a little update about our progress, and then by next week have a full plan in place. So we have some internal capacity. We're building a system as we speak, and we feel comfortable we're going. And I got to tell you, Todd, we as a society gave educators almost no notice. We asked them to completely redesign what school looks like in less than 24 hours, and we're fixing it, and we're doing that, and we're adjusting it. And this is all happening at the local level, so I'm quite proud of the effort we're putting forward. And by next week, we'll have some more communication to our families, let them know what the opportunities are for their child to continue their education, because we have a great concern for that. So no matter what happens at the state level, we want to provide some sort of support educationally, but also the physical needs like the food and the social emotional needs, the best of our ability. So we have some capacity. We expect to communicate today with families, a little update, and then as soon as mid next week, we'll have our plan in place and roll that out as well.
And obviously, with that plan still in the developmental stages, probably not a projected start date for being able to fully be online, correct?
No, that's correct. We're going to have to do some internal work with our staff to make sure everyone understands the expectations, that the system and framework's in place, and that we know how to operate. So we're in a good spot, almost reaching that point, but there's no expected date at this point. Our thought is this. The governor was very clear in his intention to shut down for 10 days, so that gave us a 10-day window to finalize. So we have this week and next week to finalize everything, and we should be ready to go by the end of next week with some sort of communication to our families about the system.
Does a part of what you're working with now to come up with the system involve actually knowing what the capabilities are on the other end, on the receiving end?
Absolutely, Todd. That's a great point. What we did so far, we surveyed our senior high and junior high families, and we know we have a nice response rate with people having access to computers and internet at home. And again, this is an equity issue. Today's clarification or memo to our families is asking to do a similar survey for internet and computer access at home, so we can know if this plan is even feasible. And that's one thing we could do. Now, looking at the numbers at the high school and junior high, we're in the high 90s, 95, 96% rate that people have access to internet and a computer. So we feel that this plan is moving forward. What we're going to do today is survey our families at the elementary level, and then when we have a chance to look at the data, find out what we can do for those families who don't have access and build them equal but different options for them, for those who may not have internet access.
I would guess, and this is just from thinking from the parent standpoint, that you've got a family with kids in different grade levels, not everybody's going to be able to be online and being educated and get all the classwork that they need at the same time. And a kid in 7th grade and a kid in 10th grade from the same family, they're going to have to do some juggling of schedules in order for everybody to get the educational opportunities that they need. And that has to be a consideration too, doesn't it?
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. Right now, our families have been amazing. I feel for all of them what they're going through right now with the adjustments they had to take not only on their professional life but their personal life. So we're going to do everything we can to build a system that takes that into consideration, that allows for some input and some support and some consideration, because that matters to us and our families matter to us. So we're building that in flight, and we're going to look at growth. We're going to value progress, and we're going to see what we can do to build an equitable system that addresses all those things.
One of the things you mentioned a couple of moments ago, again, we're talking with Mike Vuckovich, the superintendent of the Indiana Area School District, was that this is not just, the physical feeding issue. It's not just getting them their classwork, their coursework, and the educational aspect of it, but there is an emotional and a mental well-being aspect of this that must be considered, too. What's the school district doing in those terms?
We sent out a letter to our families saying structure is important. We're not going to replace the families, and we don't want to overstep their authority or overstep our boundaries at all. But what we did was provide some guidance to families saying structure matters. Here's some free resources out there that your children can use during this time to keep them from regressing and to keep them moving forward. And honestly, I think the other best piece of advice we can give is to take time to just enjoy our children and enjoy the time we have together with them and try to provide a sense of normalcy to the best of our ability. Todd, I have to be honest, for the short term, all of our lives has changed dramatically, and right now leadership's needed, and our families are doing an incredible job from what I could see about helping provide that normalcy and structure for their child.
Take me inside some of the discussions as much as you can with the school board, with the administration, and with the faculty about putting all of this together. It just must be a tremendous effort, number one, but it's meeting unique challenges that probably have never really been a consideration before.
Yeah, absolutely, Todd. One thing I have to give credit to is our school board for their leadership, as well as our local teachers union, teachers association. Everyone's working together for the last several days. The association has been with the administrators working on items together. The school board has been available at any time that we had to call them to seek clarity or support for them. So what you see, what I'm most proud of, despite the short-term changes to our daily lives, the resiliency in our leaders at the association level, administration, and school board to pull together and put kids first. So there has been tremendous interagency cooperation, and that includes our outside friends, the leadership of the county commissioners, the emergency response teams. Everyone's communicating on a daily basis. And matter of fact, I also have to applaud the local superintendents. Every day at 10 o'clock, we're on a conference call together, planning and working together. So in tough times, tough people matter, and I'm pretty amazed by the resiliency of the leadership of our teachers, our families, and our school board to pull together and try to solve a very complex problem.
That was going to be my next question, was working with other districts within Indiana County, just in terms of passing information from one district to the other about what might or might not work, or actually getting together for cooperative programs, either educationally or in some other aspect. Are those discussions on? You said 10 o'clock every morning you're having those discussions, but tell me about some of those. What are some of the things you've been able to discuss?
Yeah, one of the big things is about the short-term questions that are surrounding school districts, meaning the 180-day requirement. What does that look like, and some of the short-term planning. The long-term planning, as far as sharing resources, classes, that I'm assuming could occur down the road. But right now, we're just trying to build a framework to deal with the short-term issues that are facing schools. And again, that includes the hour and day requirement by school, and it also includes the threats of cyber schools trying to come in and try to take kids to offer, them additional educational program that we can offer here equally. So we are planning together. We're trying to go slow to go fast, and those conversations at some point will continue will occur. But right now we are focusing on some of the, I would say, smaller matters. That's not correct, but some of the more timely matters as far as the hour requirements, because this could have impact on the school year, our graduation, et cetera, et cetera. So we're trying to get through some of those logistics, and we'll continue the conversations elsewhere. But I am pleased and incredibly proud to be part of such a group of leaders who are all working together pretty seamlessly.
You know the answer to this, and I don't. So So address this for me, if you would. Cyber schools within school districts. There are some school districts that already have been battling the threat of other cyber institutions coming in by developing their own. And I would guess that those school districts that have done that have a little bit of a step up. But does that cause others to say maybe muscle up their program a little bit in terms of their cyber offerings? That we could come out of this with a permanently much stronger response to the cyber threats?
Yeah, I think it's causing schools to look at our options for children to make sure, because at the end of the day, cyber, or if we send home material, our goal is to make sure our kids don't regress, and everyone's working together and look at all of our options. So I think it's a good conversation point, and I think it's an opportunity to really respond to a need that's out there for our kids. And again, our goal at this point is we do have some internal structure in place with our own cyber offerings, how we can continue that. But also, we also have a free platform with our Google Classrooms that we can provide our kids to make sure our teachers are providing feedback on a daily basis and engaging our students. I don't think, Todd, that you can replace a teacher with a computer. But I think when you combine great teaching with great resources, I think great things can happen. And I think schools across the board are looking at this. And it also brings up an opportunity. One concern I have, Todd, is when you look at the issues in rural education, does everyone have internet access? And it looks like our data is coming back strong, but I worry about my counterparts who may be in more rural areas that may not have access to internet. So we're working and planning together, and I'm sure those conversations will continue. Yeah,
it's kind of interesting to me because, where I live, we don't have it except for a very iffy satellite internet connection, and that is the case for a lot of Indiana County. And long-term, legislatively, maybe this is something that gives a bit of a boost to those efforts to increase broadband capabilities. This has been a good conversation. Mike Vuckovich, Indiana School District Superintendent. Resources for folks who want to talk about the whole issue or learn about the issue from Indiana School District. Where do they need to go?
Yeah, Todd, you can go to our website on our website, www.iasc.cc. Under the Student and Parent tab, we have a coronavirus information page. And on there, we have information not only related to our school district, but also information from the CDC, World Health Department, World Health Office, and other organizations that at this point we can educate our families on not only the normalcy and the structure to provide kids, but also become educated on the virus and the impact it's having on not only our school district, but the entire the nation and the world. And I got to tell you, Todd, before I go, I just want to say thoughts and prayers for everyone who's suffering through this, and also thanks so much to our medical professionals who are out there fighting this every day. Our jobs are all tough, but they're doing an amazing job fighting the good fight. And I think I'd be remiss if I didn't at least recognize all their efforts.
Absolutely. Mike, thanks for being with us this morning.
Likewise. Take care, my friend. Anytime you need me, just call.
All right. Good shape. Thank you. There's Mike Vuckovich. He is the superintendent of the Indiana Area School District.